Okay, we're going to go through the Chapter 1 review, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in EdSite. So, just in case you didn't do this in EdSite, our first problem is describe each number as natural, integer, rational, or irrational. Remember that some numbers fall into multiple categories. And the one thing that I don't like about this and the size of your screen is that there's only 5 numbers here. You can't see them all. You do have to scroll to see all of those numbers. So the first one, 2 times pi. If pi is involved, it is an irrational number. 6.75 is a decimal. That means it's rational or irrational. But because it ends 6.75 and it stops, that makes it rational. You could type that into your calculator. In fact, I could do 6.75, math button, enter, enter, and it does change it into a fraction. Square root of 19 is irrational. 12. 12 is positive, and it's not a decimal. So it is natural and integer and rational. If you select the first column, it's going to be the first 3. If you select the second column, it's going to be the second and the third. If you select the third column, it's just the third. If you select irrational, it's just irrational. And our last number, -5. Natural numbers can't be negative, but integers can be negative, and that makes it also a rational number. This one is the absolute value of -7, which is +7. The absolute value of -4, which is 4. So this problem is doing 7 minus 4, which is 3. And you just type in your answer of 3. We are comparing 5 and the negative absolute value of -14. The absolute value of -14 is +14, and then stick the negative on it. So 5 would be bigger than -14. So our correct answer is the greater than symbol. I did throw a couple of weird symbols in here. I threw in pi and the intersection. You probably don't even know what that symbol means. If you don't know what the symbol means, probably not the right answer. Okay, 3/5 minus 7/4. I would change these to 20ths. So this would be, let me actually pull up. So if we have 3/5 minus 7/4, I'm going to change that into 20ths. So 5 times 4 is 20, 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20, 7 times 5 is 35, and we are subtracting 12 minus 35. 12 minus 35 is -23. And I think when this assignment was originally opened, if you typed in the fraction and then put -23 on the top, it counted it wrong. I did go back in and change that so that it would accept -23 over 20 as correct. On the test, it will accept this as your correct answer. It will also accept negative and then the fraction bar 23 over 20. So I think at the time this is what it was expecting, but I did change it so that both of those would count as correct because I prefer doing -23 over 20. That just looks better to me. The next one, we don't divide. We multiply by the reciprocal. On the top, 4 times 14 is 56. On the bottom, 7 times 3 is 21. In your calculator, do 56 divided by 21 and simplify the fraction. You should get 8/3. It will not accept 53 or 56 over 21 as your correct answer. You need to put in 8/3. Identify the property. We're adding the opposite. That is an inverse. So additive inverse property. 5 times 1 is 5. That is not changing the value of the number. So that's an identity property. Multiplicative identity. Next. Okay, order of operations. We do 12 minus 45 first because absolute value bars act like parentheses. So that's negative 33. And then you would do what's in those absolute value bars. So the absolute value of negative 33 is positive 33. 63 minus 33 plus 9 is 39. Okay, this one, I saw a couple people getting this one wrong. You have to do the square before you do anything else. So 5 squared is 25. Then we need to multiply by 6. 6 times 25 is 150. Then we subtract the 42. 150 minus 42 is 108. Okay, is this the only question that you're a little bit concerned about on the test? I think some of you feel like this one is the one that is a little weird. So there are 6 pieces of wood. I'm going to make this bigger. There we go. 6 pieces of wood that are 1 1/3 feet long. So 6 times 1 1/3. And there are 4 pieces of wood that are each 3 1/2 feet long. I have seen people on tests before on this question draw out pictures and then count on the pictures. I don't care how you get your correct answer for this. If you need to draw a picture, whatever, you can. What I think about here is that I don't like mixed numbers. You could change this into decimals and just go from there and estimate if you wanted to. But I thought about if each of these pieces of wood is 1 1/3, that means I have 6 pieces that are 1 foot. So I know I have 6 feet. I also have 6 1/3. So what's 6 times 1/3? That's 2. So I have 8 feet of wood there. This other one, 3 1/2. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1/2 is 2. So we have 14 feet of wood there. That means we have 22 feet of wood. It comes from 32 feet. Take away the 22 feet that we used. We have 10 feet left over. So this answer is 10. I also want to show you this on the graphing calculator or on any calculator. I can't show you what the scientific calculator looks like. I just want to show you that fractions, like parentheses, are your friend. So if you're trying to do this on your scientific calculator with your ABC button, you just need to do 6 parentheses, 1 ABC 1 ABC 3. Close your parentheses. Plus 4 parentheses, 3 ABC 1 ABC 2. Close your parentheses. And that should make your calculator do the math correctly. I just took the 1 1/3 and changed it into an improper fraction. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. This is 4/3. 3 1/2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So keeping that in mind, I've got 6 times 4/3 plus 4 times 7/2. That's 22 feet of wood. 32 minus 22 is 10. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. If you need help with this, learning how to go from mixed number to improper fraction, let me know. I can go over that with you really quick and get you feeling confident about that. And that is it. Everything in EdSite is called tests, which is kind of annoying, but you click end test. Are you sure you want to finish? End test. And I got 100%. Yay! On your test, you will not receive this. You'll receive something that just says like, congratulations, thanks for submitting. It's not going to show you your score. It's not going to show you which problems you missed. I will be looking at your tests to figure out what your score is and then entering that in the gradebook.